I just
Made a whip. What do you do with a whip?
realizing that the universe, to say that a single being created the universe,
Good question.
it's like lots of people don't realize what distance is a light year.
So let me explain this from an Islamic perspective, right?
Okay.
The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that's more than 1400 years ago, 1450 years ago, he told us that there are 7 samawat. Okay, let me explain what a sama is. Like skies. The first sky from the Quran, we know from Surah Mulk that all of the stars, all of the lamps that we see, زَيِّنَ السَّمَاءَ الدُّنْيَا بِمَصَابِيحٍ in the Quran, that we beautified the first sky, the sky of the world, with lamps. So all of that is just the first sky. The Prophet Muhammad told us, peace be upon him, that the first sky compared to the second sky is like a small ring in a huge desert. Now imagine what you're saying, what science is telling us today about the vastness of the universe. It was explained by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, without having any telescopes or scientific knowledge. He said the second sky compared to the third is like a small ring in a huge desert. The third sky compared to the fourth, like a small ring in a huge desert. Now see, how would a man in the desert know those kinds of things where he had there was no Hubble telescopes, there were no satellites, right? There was no NASA, right? And that's why what you're saying proves Islam to be the truth, because this vastness of the universe shows the oneness of the Creator. Let me explain how. We have so many planets, so many galaxies, we have so many solar systems, so many dimensions, and you see them functioning more or less in the same way, right? Let's say me and you paint. Your painting is going to be different than mine. Maybe you use oil paint, I'll use water. Maybe you'll be abstract, I'll be a realist, right? But you look at the universe, you look at every galaxy, same footprint, right? It shows the oneness of the Creator of all of this. And we don't say this was created by some man or some animal or some monkey or some blue guy. No, this Creator is not a man, it's not a woman, doesn't die, doesn't get tired. Allah is a unique name even. Like for example, in English you say God, right?
Dios.
Dios, okay. If you have a female, what would you say? Goddess. In Espanol, Dios.
Diosa.
Diosa, right? So that means Dios or God is referring to a man, right? I mean, linguistically, it's gender-based. Al-Ilah, Allah, genderless, right? You could say, this guy is the god of basketball, right? He's such a great record or guitar player. He's a god of rock and roll, right? But you can never use the word Allah like that. It's unique, right? Allah, the one only worthy of worship. Al-Ilah, ma'rifah here, right? So it tells you that this Creator is above these things of being just a human or a white or black. Sí. En español, sí. Es en español también. Right? So now think about that. If there were different creators in different parts of the galaxies, then one galaxy would run one way and one would operate a different way. De nada. Wa alaikum salam. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You feel me?
Except that what was the need for such a being to be there? Because what was before him? Because
Sure. So Allah tells us that answer in the Quran, right? الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا وهو العزيز الغفور. In the Quran, Allah tells us that we created death and life. The system of this world is called death, and life, meaning the hereafter, to see which one of you puts forth the best deeds. Right? So Allah made this as a test for us. He created us, He put us, and not just us. It's not just us in the universe. We as Muslims believe there's a creation called jinn, right? Which is made out of a different component than us, a smokeless fire. It's not like the regular fire, but it's different. So as some people may imagine ghosts or aliens or whatever, but we believe that there is another creation, right? Then there are other types of wildlife that we don't even know about. Creations of Allah that are under the ocean, that above the skies, we don't even know about. Then there are malaika, there are angels. Millions and billions and trillions, countless, like for ourselves, countless of them, right? And these, some of them, they're just prostrating to Allah, the whole creation. They're making tawaf of Bayt al-Ma'mur above the skies, right? So that, what I'm telling you is that don't think that Islam believes it's just us few people, human, that's it. No, Allah has many creations. We say, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. All praises to Allah, the Lord of all of the worlds and galaxies and creation.
I feel like our Earth, in relation to this solar system or this galaxy, it might proportionally might be like a molecule or even
A
less
speck,
than that.
yes, or atom, or nucleus. You're right. I agree with you. And that's what Allah tells us. That's what Allah tells about the, like I told you about the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad. Imagine if you take a small ring, throw it in a huge desert, and you take another, the huge desert becomes a small ring in front of another. So it's exactly what you're saying. You hold a belief that works with the Islamic belief. Like the Bible tells us the earth is young, right? Around 10,000 something years. You know that doesn't make sense. Scientifically it doesn't make sense. Carbon dating shows the earth is older than that. But that's not what the Quran tells us. The Quran has been preserved when the Bible has been corrupted, right? And this is why I tell you, at least take the Quran and read it.